obviously, we're very thankful for our members in helping us fund our Amicus brief. But from your experience, can you share a little bit with our listeners the importance of a Friends of the Court brief or Amicus brief, and how important it is to cases like this and others that may arise?
Yep. So when I first started thinking about how we're going to handle the appeal, I said this is a case that's kind of ripe for an amicus, because we're not just talking about what happens for my client, the Cazenovia Golf Club. We're talking about an issue that's going to affect golf courses, certainly in New York State and perhaps nationally, because courts do talk to each other, judges talk to each other. And more importantly, plaintiff bars talk to each other. And if they start finding out that there's a court that's making more plaintiff-friendly cases, then they may be able to try and convince the legislatures and the courts in their home turf to adopt those same techniques. So because of what we were talking about here, which is this is assumption of the risk, and it's a doctrine that's designed to protect course owners like my client, like other clients throughout the state, and not just those, not just specific to golf. Again, we're talking about other purveyors of recreational activities, people that operate, gymnasiums, ice skating rinks, all those kinds of things. So, and we want to, New York State has an inherent interest in encouraging those types of venues to exist, right? We want people to get out and enjoy themselves and engage in sports and recreational activities. And we want people to keep them open so that there's business coming to the state, and that they're not afraid that they're going to be sued and lose. So that was the policy issue that we felt was really important to reiterate to the appellate court and say, this is not just something specific to the Cazenovia Golf Club. This decision you're going to make, which is what does assumption of the risk mean for sporting activities and for golf in New York State? What is that going to mean? There's going to be consequences to your decision, judges. And so we felt that if we get an amicus brief here, a friend of the court from an organization like NGCOA, which is going to say, hey, this is an impact to our industry, to our community. This is important. You guys need to think not just beyond, I feel bad for the plaintiff, or I maybe agree with Cazenovia Golf Club, but there's an overarching issue here that's going to have ramifications, certainly statewide and perhaps nationally. And that's why we wanted to have an amicus to point out those issues of, you're changing assumption of the risk. You're going to impose different standards for golf courses that have never been around before and are not recognized by the PGA, the USGA, anything like that. So please think about that. And that's why we had the brief come in from NGCOA as an amicus.